do you want me to keep a running total? Okay.
Yeah, we'll tell.
And I'll keep adding up. Excuse me.
All right, we're live on Wimkin.
Good to go.
I hear it. Going over to Facebook. Got it. Put notes in group. And we are full joy on Facebook. Let me know if we get Facebook message. And every channel is up. Let me know about Rumble, please.
Just got the message.
Okay, message is good. And audio levels are good. All right, everybody, welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Listen, a little bit of confusion. I had the show scheduled for 8 because it's Olivia's birthday today. But I also put it on at 7 when I booked the show because it's out of habit. So I screwed up. It's my fault. I apologize. Please get the word out. And we were really good last night, and we've been good for like 7 months. But I do apologize. We had a snafu. So we just decided to push it till 8. We're here covering a bunch of different stuff. So thank you for being here. We've got Amy in the house tonight. So welcome, Amy.
Hey, everybody. Good to be here.
We have a new 45-year-old. And
not quite 45. It's 10:18 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I got 5 hours.
Yeah, but you were born in Montana, so it's already there.
No, they're 2 hours behind us. So technically, I don't turn 45 until 12:18 Eastern Standard Time. So I got like 4 hours left.
All right. Well, close enough. And, hey, it is what it is. Let's get this shared out on Twitter, if you would not mind. We have a special goal tonight. Listen, I don't ask a lot. Tonight, we're going to ask for a hell of a donation segment for Olivia. Let's see what we can do and give her an extra special birthday.
And the donations, unfortunately, are having technical difficulties.
2 seconds. Hold on. Oh. So donations are having technical difficulties. So we're going to announce them tonight, which will give you a little extra special. And we'll go from there. All right, so let's get going, and we'll see you in 3 minutes. Hi, Amy. Bye, Amy. Can Amy hear us?
What,
I don't know.
With Amy? I don't know which Amy you're talking to.
You. Bye, Amy.
I said hi before, though, so I was confused. I thought you were talking to another Amy. Because there's so many Amys, I don't know sometimes.
It's fine. We'll figure it out when we get back. You know what? No, we're on time because we're going to block it out. So, you know what? Let's just do the intro real quick.
And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's stuff.
supposed to be playing the damn thing.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. It's nice to see so many people on. Olivia, happy birthday.
Thank you,
It is a very special day, and you only turned 45. Show goal is wrong because we're not going to be able to do it tonight, so let me get that off. Goal is gone. Phone number is on. And then new show goal is... nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. Nope. Shit. There it is. Olivia's birthday goal. I think we're asking for $450 tonight.
$10 for every year of my life.
That's what we were thinking. $10 for every year. But I would listen. You guys do what you want to do, and if you want to go off. And I promise you this tonight. Here was my goal. Is Olivia is on our anniversary. I bought her a washer and dryer. Now I got a lot of shit for this.
Not for me. I loved my washer and dryer. I almost cried when I got it. I loved it.
But a lot of people gave me shit for that. And I said, dude, it's what she wants. And I got her a washer and dryer. So I was going to buy her, that she's getting her pedicure and all that little stuff. But I was going to pick her up something. And it is the new Hexclad skillets and pots and pans that Gordon Ramsay uses. And these aren't cheap, but she constantly uses these pans. We bought a while ago. What were they called?
The Calphalon. We've had them for a while.
Calphalon was the best of the best back 10 years ago. Now the Hexclads are the best. So I was thinking this. If we could crush it, I'll match it. And I could get her that extra special present. But I'm not asking for it. She's going to get it anyway. So just hint. But I wanted to kind of do something extra special. So that was my goal tonight. That's why I was like, let's fucking crush this thing. Let's hit it. And let's see what we can do about having an amazing birthday for Olivia.
The one thing I always want is family photos. And technically, we're getting couples photos next weekend. So that works for my birthday. And I got a kick-ass new outfit.
You did get a kick-ass new outfit. But you also have a poem that I figured I would read to you. Because although I cooked a mean shrimp Alfredo, this birthday was not the best. So I had spent some time putting this together for you if I can find it, and wanted to read this corny ass poem to you.
Thank you, Jessica. She said I look 25. I really appreciate that. You know, I still get carded when I go buy wine at the store, and I get so happy. And then Hayden goes, well, they have to card anyone that looks like they're under 50, Mom. It's like, thanks for ruining my day, daughter.
That's not true. I think under 35. So she's wrong.
But still, you know, just let me be happy I got carded.
So here is the deal. This is my poem to you, and I think I got the years wrong. So bear with me if I got it wrong. Okay.
Okay.
Because out of the birthday, like this morning, I had roses and a bear and chocolate and balloons and a card that was supposed to be delivered during the show. All that was supposed to happen, and I was like $150, and I was like, that's a lot of money, but it's all right. It's worth it. Livy's worth it. And they charged me like $225. They charged me like a $75 processing fee, and I'm like, what? Did the tariffs come or something? What happened?
The tariffs.
And this lady got completely pissed at me and mad at me. And when I called, and she goes, well, if you did not want to charge, maybe you should have looked. And I'm like, well, it said free delivery and it said discount. She's like, well, there is a third page during checkout. And I said, oh, well, pardon me, but it still doesn't justify the 75. I said, what's it for? And she goes, it's for operating costs. And I said, operating costs? Like what? Like thorn damage and insurance to your thorns or something? And she says, nope, that's not it. she goes, it's for delivery. I said, but it says free delivery right here. And she's like, listen, sir, it's for operating costs. And I said, okay, I don't understand what she goes, you know what? Fine. We canceled you got a full refund. Goodbye. And I'm like, this is the only florist in town. There's a couple of others, but anyway, the point is it sucked. So I did the best that I could and wrote you a poem, and it's really corny.
Well, you're an eloquent writer, so.
No, it's shit. I mean, this is complete dog shit. So I hope you enjoy. For Olivia, my love. Tell me if I got the first sentence right. For 26 years.
Yes, you did.
Oh, thank God. I thought you said 20. I thought it was 27. Through thick and thin. Little joke. Just a little. Through laughter, through heartache, we've always been. 2 kids, a home, a life we made, with love that never dulled or swayed. You are the sun that lights my way, the steady hand when the sky turns gray, the mother who gives with all her heart, the wife who's been my greatest part. Through every trial, every test, you give your all, you give your best. Your love is fierce, your spirit strong. With you, my love, I do belong. So on this day, your day to shine, I thank the stars that you are mine. Happy birthday, my heart, my light. My love for you burns ever bright. Matthew Spear, I love you.
Thank you.
Now you feel like shit. Now you feel like shit, don't you? Just a little bit?
No.
I love you.
She shouldn't. Happy birthday, Liv.
Thank you. Okay.
But you noticed the thick part, right? I
Should have said girth.
No, that's not a better word, is it? Thick?
No.
Thick and thin? All right, so I love you. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And there it is. I have a soul. It's just really hard to see sometimes. So let's move on. We've got a busy show for you, and we usually start off with telling you all about the show and who we are and all this other stuff. We're not going to do that right now. As far as donations, if you want to leave a message, please do. Do the donations like you always do. Olivia will say the message aloud, and then we'll thank you, and we'll pop it into the total as she runs the tabulation, and we will go. We'll go from there. Okay. Here we go. Sorry, I was reading people's comments and just making
great
sure.
poem, by the way, it was wonderful.
I'm one fucking step away from cutting my ear off. So,
I thought that was Picasso
it is,
painter.
but it's a movie, and it's.
Oh, okay. At least I got that right.
Doing enough cocaine to kill a small horse. Does that work? No, that was Freud. I'm ready to throw myself off of the parapet from the the Montague Tower. Is that good?
Shakespeare in Love.
Shakespeare in Love. Once more into the breach, dear friends.
Yes.
St. Crispin's Day. Okay, so we've got a lot to talk about. First part of the show tonight in the A block is going to be the speech highlights from Donald Trump. Amy, did you have a chance to watch?
I did. I watched it today. So I watched it on like 1.75 speed because I didn't have a lot of time. So I may have missed some things, but I think I got the gist of it for the most part.
What was your gut? What did you think? Because I've got the highlights. I've got a super reel, a super cut of everything. So it'll be enjoyable.
So my gut reaction to the overall thing for the speech was, oh my gosh, he's so funny and so eloquent, and just he missed his calling as a stand-up comedian. He could have been like a shock jock or something. He is such a good leader, and I think that's lost in his humor sometimes for some people who don't understand it or that are really fun at family events because they just have no humor. I thought it was great, to be honest. I didn't have time to fact check everything, but I did have some questions on the things he did say because I didn't agree with all of his statements. But overall, I was pretty happy with his delivery. His delivery was just perfection, in my opinion. And again, I didn't have time to fact check everything, but I will because I don't agree with all the statements he said. So, but I thought it was wonderful. Overall, great.
Good. Liv, your thoughts. Did you have a chance to...
I watched most of it because I was putting in donations last night. So I had your show up on the computer, But of course, I had kids and dog and hockey game in the background. So as I got interrupts, so I wasn't able to focus and watch the whole thing sitting down. But I got, like Amy did, I got the gist of it. I got to watch that Democratic congressman get kicked out. I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh, that was the best part.
That was great. I loved how Mike Johnson just stood up and said, "Okay, enough, get out." I thought that was great. Although I heard today, I'd read something that they had planned walkouts throughout the speech or something like that. That's what I'd read. So haven't had a chance to do research to see if that's true, but that's what I read. Okay.
And people are saying you missed a huge opportunity for protest. We're going to talk about it tonight because I think they are so dangerously close to having no other options that I do believe that riots are next.
Yeah. And Elon wore a suit. No one can say anything about him not wearing a suit.
I think he found his next target for pregnancy too, because there was this hot blonde sitting next to him and he got her a bottle of water and he's just like, time for my next mommy. So
my baby mama.
He's already got like 14 kids. I mean, geez. I mean,
it's
problem. Funny. I know he's South African, but he's actually acting more like a Mexican. So is that too much?
Or Genghis Khan. I don't know which.
Genghis Khan. That was so much better. It's like Robinson Crusoe. I mean, they still have family on that fucking island. He screwed so many savages. It's all right. Let's move on. Here are our greatest hits.
I have one question.
Oh, sure.
So sorry.
Yeah, no, go.
When donations come in, do we want to wait and kind of do one shot?
No,
or
let's get a run going. Like let's go. Yep. Let's get a few in real quick, and then we can. You know what? Let's watch Trump. Let them all come in because I know people are throwing money at you every birthday like you're a stripper on a pole. And
don't give anyone ideas.
I'll throw some money your way. By the way, the lighting looks really good. Got yours balanced, so you know.
Yeah, I don't look like a ghost. That's a good thing.
Right.
I just need more sun.
I think mine's like way off tonight.
It is. I was going to say yours looks horrible. No, I'm just kidding. It looks great. Everybody looks great. I was teasing. Now, don't get upset. But you do look a little fuzzy, a little blurry. No, I'm just kidding. It's not true. I swear to God, I'm kidding. All right, here it is.
They identified $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender. This is real. $32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique. $20 million for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. It's a program. $20 million for a program. $1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her? A $3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate developer. He's done very well. $250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation in Zambia. $42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda.
And it goes on and on and on. And yes, Ash says it goes on and on and on. It was a hey baby. It was a funny. You're not coming up here yet. You come here at the end of the show. It was a very funny speech. I think it was one of his most powerful. He had his rhythm, and when he went off prompter, he stayed on point, which is interesting. The Democrats hated it, and
Of course they did.
They absolutely melted the hell down, and they have nothing. This is the one thing that they did that is, well, I don't know if I want to go into this yet. You know what? We can bring these together because it is important, and I've got the greatest hits, but we all watched it together last night. But here's the removal that was heard around the world, and I want to talk about it because everyone's like, "Wait a second, Trent Green did this." I think his name's Trent Green. Marjorie Taylor.
Is
Go
it
ahead,
Alan Green?
No, I'm talking about
Green.
I'm talking about the Republicans. Trent something did it back with Obama,
Yes.
and Obama gave him the look. I'll look it up. We'll find it.
Yes.
Marjorie Taylor Greene shouted him down, and so there's been multiple times that Republicans have done it. We'll talk about how it's different because it's not the same thing. But let's go ahead and see the time there. Mike Johnson just decided to bounce bar because this is exactly what it felt like. Here it is.
Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
They sang not enough.
I didn't hear that last night. That's pretty funny.
Go. Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Thank you.
Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum.
So removed him. So what's the difference between Marjorie Taylor Greene doing that and a Republican doing that from years past? Here is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Remember, she also wore the MAGA hat at the State of the Union. And here is
Republicans.
Here is Marjorie Taylor Greene calling this out.
Well, I thought it was pretty impressive that the president would enter the people's house and try to lie to the American people about the economy, the border, and even ignore the fact that he allowed the Chinese spy balloon to spy on America. But when he continued the lie, accusing Republicans of preparing to cut Social Security and Medicare, we couldn't take it. So I, along with my colleagues, were calling him out. I think I was just the loudest one because I stood up and screamed liar. And the reason why I did that, Sean, is because they have used my image and my name as leading the effort in that, when we have not had one single meeting in the GOP conference talking about cutting Social Security and Medicare. Joe Biden is a liar. I represent the American people, and I was honored to be able to call him the liar that he is in the people's house and not allow him to get away with it.
Is it like that much different? I mean, look at Kevin McCarthy, how brain dead he looks in that. I'll tell you what, Trump just is better State of the Union. That's all I got to say about it. Olivia, what are your thoughts on this? What do you think that the left have a leg to stand on? Is it the same thing as when MTG shouted down Biden? Is it the same thing?
In my opinion, yes. I don't
Oh,
care
really?
either side. They need to have decorum and respect. It's the State of the Union the president is addressing. It doesn't matter if you don't like him or agree with him. But yeah, they did their boos. All sides do their boos. They stand up and clap. But shouting and causing a scene, no. I don't care what side you're on, no. It shouldn't be done. And to be honest, she should have been booted too. They should have booted her if she didn't sit down. Now, if she would have sat down when they told her to and didn't say anything after that, then let her stay. but Al Green didn't, so he deserved to leave. As far as her wearing a MAGA hat, freaking AOC wore a Chick-fil-A dress. So whatever they want to wear, I don't care.
Fair enough.
But, have respect for the office and the president. You represent the people, and you're making yourself look like a complete asshat by doing that. You look like a child. Have some self-respect.
Building
and
your
some
online
self-restraint
business?
for my goodness.
Fair enough. I don't think there's anything that I disagree with there. Here is Obama, and then we'll get Amy's thoughts, where they shouted out and said, "You lie." Here it is. God, look at the footage. I wonder what video is going to look like in 20 years. What's going to be like? This looks like an old VHS
It
tape.
does.
I mean, it's crazy.
Sure, illegal immigrant. This too is false. The reforms I'm proposing would not apply to those who are here illegally. It's not true. And one more misunderstanding I want to clear up. Under our plan, no federal dollars will be used to fund abortions, and federal conscience laws will remain in place.
They were so appalled
Yes.
that took place. Like,
I
the
remember that.
glare that Nancy and Joe gave him was like, we are going to assassinate you. And how dare you talk about our African-American president this way. Amy, your thoughts on this, and then I want to add some perspective. Go ahead.
So I actually don't remember MTG doing this, but I do remember during Obama's administration, that guy, I don't recall his name. I do remember that because it was such an enormous
Wilson is his name.
Okay, yeah, it was such an enormous controversy at the time. It was like, how dare you disrespect the office? And this is just the word. It's like literally you're threatening the president at this point. That's what it came across as back when Obama was president. It
right.
was so
they did it to
egregious.
Bush too, remember, but nobody cared
No, I
about
don't-
that. But they
remember
called,
that.
oh yeah, they shouted down
I was
Bush.
younger. I was like in my 20s, so I don't remember that. But as well, I don't remember even Marjorie Taylor Greene. I just remember that. I remember the Obama one. I was so fascinated by the Obama administration because it's not someone I wanted to win. So I was very glued
Right.
to everything to find out as much information as I could. So do I agree with this? Look, we have freedom of speech in our country. I don't know the rules in Congress and when you go into this hall, I don't know if there's a decorum thing that you're supposed to abide by.
Right.
If there's a set of rules given out to you, I have no idea. So I don't know what is expected of people. However, I am someone who watches things on TV. I live in this country. I vote every election, local and for the big ones too. So as a viewer and with optics, it looks bad on both sides. It actually really looks bad for both parties.
Mm-hmm.
I have always been more conservative and right-leaning. So of course I'm going to think the left side is worse just because of my own bias. But that doesn't mean it's not wrong on both sides. It's wrong on both sides. It really is. Although I thought Al Green was hilarious getting kicked out. I thought it hilarious.
It's completely and like the difference between this is Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats have no room to talk. They ripped up a speech, and if we're going to do apples to apples, it comes down to Marjorie. There's no love lost, but the difference when it comes to Wilson, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Nancy Pelosi is Nancy Pelosi waited to the end, and she's got the gavel, so she gets to decide to go ahead and break decorum rules. But the thing about Wilson and the thing about MTG is they stopped when they were told to stop.
Yes.
They were warned. They were warned. And they were warned with the glare from the President of the United States. Do you really believe that if Obama, Wilson continued to catcall and shout him down, that he wouldn't have been removed? Because there are rules. Now, the thing about Al Green that people don't understand is that he has thrown articles of impeachment against Donald Trump 5 times. And he continues to. He hates Trump. And he is Trump derangement syndrome times 1,000. The guy doesn't care about his constituents. He cares to get Trump in any way, shape, or form. Honestly, the way he was holding his cane,
It's threatening.
I would have had Secret Service tackle his ass. I'm shocked that Secret Service didn't tackle his ass. The moment that he lifted that cane in that way, Secret Service should have jumped on top of him and pinned him. And I am like, I was pissed. And I didn't talk about it last night.
He's the president of the TDS club.
Well, he is, but the moment he lifted that cane, Angela Ashkin says, Olivia, you have beautiful eyes and perfect eyebrows. Tell Matt I'm watching on my TV tonight. I'm glad you're watching, but my eyes, I don't get enough love. I have to see my eyes change color. Not that it's not okay for you to say something great
You
about
need
Olivia.
some eyeliner.
Yeah, but
to bring out your eye.
No, I need to wear a blue shirt or something because, man, my eyes change color, and Amy has gorgeous eyes. We all have good looking eyes. Gosh darn it! But moving on, Olivia, you get a compliment all the time, so I don't want to try to steal it away from you. Plus, you're wearing your top knot tonight, which is always great for me. This is very different. Now, does that mean I condone what they did? No, I don't think anyone should shout down. This is the State of the Union. He's an invited guest. I think this is what people don't understand. Although this was an address of Congress, which is different. We talked about it last night of what that means. You can, figure it out. It's not Trump's presidency that he's giving the State of the Union on, so it's not called a State of the Union. However, it is. But Congress invited him. He is a guest in the people's house, and he can't step foot in that house without permission. I don't know if people know this or not, but you can't even go there without permission. So you have to be invited by the speaker. So to invite a guest into your home and then literally treat him like shit is very different. And he was warned. They were not messing around. And do you notice that no other Democrat said anything last night? They booed and they hissed and they, did all their stuff, but nobody got out of hand, and that was their plan. They were going to. And they were slapped down because here's why. And this is something that's going to baffle you. Got into an argument with a guy today online. What's new? It's pretty much an ongoing occurrence. Daily. Yeah. But this graphic just blew me away. And it says the view of Trump's speech. It's a CBS poll, y'all. 76%. So they're like, oh, yeah, well, that's because it's a bunch of freaking, conservatives. They watched his speech. Dude, it's CBS. No conservative within their right mind would ever watch CBS to watch the State of the Union. People watch it on either my show or one of the other streamers or Fox or OAN or whatever it would be. This is a ridiculous number. 76%. Over 73% approve of his job on the border. 72% approve of his job with cutting positions and job. Hell, 63% approve tariffs. This guy is literally going to have one of the best first 100-day approval ratings of anybody, but the liberals and CNN are all saying his numbers are tanking. Folks, his numbers aren't tanking. They don't even really give a shit about the stock market. Go ahead, Amy.
I had a question about the poll stats because I could not locate them, and I did try to find them today, and I don't know if they've been published since this morning, but where did they get those statistics? Because I heard some rumoring about the poll statistics that it was 51% of Republicans that were polled in this particular poll for those statistics, but I don't know, and I don't know where they got them from. So
what, on CBS? CBS poll?
No, it wasn't. I guess CBS had polled. They had used data from another. I guess there was one big poll that had went out. My assumption. I'm not sure. Okay, but the statistics are all over. I'm just curious. I'm not claiming anything.
Sure. No. I'm gonna answer you. So here's what I know about the poll with just the data on here. Up in the top left-hand corner, the MOE, the margin of error, is plus 3.4 points. For March 4th, 2025, if that poll had 51% Republicans guaranteed, the margin of error would reflect that. So when you do a poll you're going to make random phone calls on that. And then obviously the database that you're polling from are from whatever poll person is taking it is what they've collected. So when you have like a Quinnipiac poll, that poll is based upon voter registration. When you have a Fox News poll, it depends, and it will specifically tell you that it is they are saturating calls towards Republicans or women or minorities. But if it's not that, if it's a national poll, it's all polled off voter registration. CBS, when it conducts a poll with a margin of error, which can show a positive or negative swing, that means it's a balanced poll. And there might be +5 Republicans versus -5 Democrats. But if there's a margin error of 3.4, there would be no need for a margin of error if it was top heavy in Republicans. So that poll to me immediately shows that it's a balanced poll called in overall national reaction to the speech. But we've seen other stats that weren't Republicans, and other stats on the tariffs, 63%. We saw it on Trump's position on the border, with the Doge initiative, with his handling of Ukraine. His handling of Ukraine is like 68%. These numbers are incredible, even amongst Republicans, because so when I see this, if CBS releases a poll that says these, I'm going to report on that. If Fox News does that and it shows a Democrat showing strong numbers, I'm going to report on it. And I did with Joe Biden, and I did it with Kamala Harris. But the makeup of the poll to me makes very little difference. The point is that we've seen speeches from multiple partied presidents that do not go over well with the internal party numbers. Like, there were things Biden said with Democrats that they didn't like. They didn't like that he was amicable with abortion. They wanted a hard line. They wanted a hard line with Hamas and Israel. And it wasn't very popular within his party. So to me, it's still indicative, whether it's his voter base or a national average, that Donald Trump's message resonates. And this is why he won 7 swing states. This is why he flipped 81% of the counties in the United States went right. This is a clear indicator. And plus, we won the House, we won the Senate. We have the SCOTUS and the executive branch and the gubernatorial, which demonstrates that it's a mandate. So it's a good question. Where did you hear that, by the way?
Oh, I didn't. There was like the CBS one, and then I heard, what's the other left-leaning one? There was like another left-leaning one that had the same, like it was like 73%, I think. And don't quote me on that. And then on the right, it was very similar. And so I just was wondering where the stats came from, because I didn't have time to like dive in. It's just been a day, so.
Yeah. So let me give you just a couple of numbers. So CNN poll. Okay. Only 44% of viewers had a very positive reaction to the president's address. 25% had somewhat positive reaction. That's 69%. It's positive. Yeah. Listen to what I just said. CNN, they're trying to spin it. Only 44% had a very positive, but 25% had a somewhat positive. Then that means in every single country I've ever been in, 69%, according to the math, has a positive perception of the president. Those numbers are lining up with what CBS found. And that's CNN. And they hate him the most. So when we look at this, it's easy to say, oh, well, let's dismiss that poll. So you either accept polls or you don't. And if you don't, then all polls have to be bad. And if you do, then all polls have to be good. But the problem is that people look at the outliers and go, oh, let's go ahead and throw this away because it's not what I want to hear. National polls are shit when it comes to general elections. Those are always better at state and county and local polls. But when it comes to public opinion, those national polls are really easy because they don't have to call just registered voters. They can call anybody, and any database can be can be sampled, and you get a larger swath of people responding. Because surprisingly enough, only about 48% of the population is truly registered. And what we found out from that is only about 27% of those people actually get out and care about the elections and vote for anything other than the national election. Anyway, any other thoughts on the poll?
I think it's pretty telling, honest. If it's all accurate based off of the numbers we have, I think it's pretty telling. It just goes to show that the American public did give the popular vote. That just another cementation. Is that the right word? Cementation of
insemination?
No, it cements the truth of the people who are questioning the accuracy of the votes, the popular vote and the electoral college vote. That
is
we did
correct.
actually vote for Donald Trump because the majority is coming through and through and through and through every time.
Yeah. And the Democrats aren't making any better. We'll talk about that in the second segment. Liv, quick segment break, and then we're going to start doing some donations because it has not stopped since we frickin' holy Olivia's birthday.
The Dumb Show is built on real conversations, raw, unfiltered, and fearless. Big Tech didn't like that. Facebook pulled our funding, tried to shut us down. But for over a year, you, our incredible viewers, have kept us going. Your support, your donations, your time, it all matters. Most of you spend 10 plus hours a week with us. Compare that to Netflix, maybe 5 hours a month. We believe we're worth that time. And we hope you do too. But listen, we don't want giving to feel like a burden. We want it to feel good. So take a second to ensure you're in a good spot. If you're in a place to give, that will be amazing. If not, just liking and sharing helps more than you know. Visit thedumbshow.com/donate. Whether it's PayPal, Venmo, or Mail, every bit helps to keep us going. Dumb Nation, we appreciate you more than words can say.
Bless you.
Cementation is cementation is very different than cementation or insemination.
I know the words, I just can't pronounce them, people.
You did it fine. Did you like the new commercial? Is it better than the other one?
Yes, I like it. I like his accent.
Yeah, he does all of our stuff. He does.
Join Wim Ken, the dumb.
Same guy. Nick Carroll's on. Nick, we'll talk about overtime in a second. In overtime. Oh, very cool. I'll do that right after this. Olivia has a ton of donations to talk about. So, Olivia, why don't you start off and tell us where we're at?
All right. The first one is Jesus.
Jesus.
From Rumble Chat, $5.
$5 from Jesus. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you. Let me see. From Chevelle. Bernius, I think that's how you pronounce her last name. $10.
Oh, don't do last names. Don't do last names. Yep, Chevelle. $10 from Chevelle. Thank you.
Yes. 1080. Okay. Next. Miss Bobby, of course. Love for All, $51.99.
$51.99. Thank you. Appreciate
Thank
it,
you,
Bobby.
Hang on. The St. Vincent Clan. Mama Judy.
Mama Judy.
Says happy birthday, Olivia, 2110.
2110. Thank you, Judy. We appreciate it.
Next is the Kevster, of course. Happy birthday, young lady. Thank you. 2625. Thank you for the funny joke, Kevin.
2625. Thank you, Kev.
Miss CJ Jenkins, 7774.
Wow.
Happy birthday, sweetie. You are a bright ray of sunshine.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Thank you so
awesome.
much.
Thank you.
That's huge.
Okay. Do we do all of them now?
Sure. Get them all done.
Okay. Then, this one's great. $45 from Stephanie Flattery. Perfect. That's $45.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Hope your birthday is great.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Thomas Austin, 2625.
Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate it. God, more are coming in.
Yanni.
People are just hitting it all day long.
Miss Debbie Hensley. Happy birthday, Olivia. $100 even. Thank you.
Feet.
Exactly.
Thank you, Debbie.
Deborah Augustine, happy birthday, Olivia. 2110.
Thank you, Deborah.
What's that? Now going to Jane Bush, $11.50. Starting Liv's birthday off. Show off is what it says.
Thank you, Jane.
Sorry, the donations are you did did that one early. We just, since that's down, we couldn't do it in it early. Gregory Carlisle, I can't talk. $20. Happy birthday, Olivia.
Thank you, Greg.
Thanks, Greg.
Jennifer McCarver. Love you guys. Happy belly button day, Olivia. I've never heard of that.
Nice.
$100 even.
Oh, Jen, thank you. That's huge, you guys.
Christina Parang. I'm not even going to try that one.
Christina.
Yes. Thanks for the great news coverage and happy birthday, Olivia. $20.
Thank you, Christina.
And I think this is our last one. Joanne Lutman, $20. Happy born day, Olivia. Thank you, everyone. It's 556.73.
We got another one.
Oh, did we just get another one? Yep, it just came in. And that would be Marky Mark in the house. Marky Mark, thank you. Congrats on the level up, Liv.
Oh,
that's great.
$10.80. I wouldn't expect anything else.
586.83.
Oh, 567.53.
567 what?
53.
53.
Thank you guys also very much.
Yeah, that's awesome to see that we hit it already, but we're driving big tonight. So keep it coming, man. It's a good birthday and it always feels good. We appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Overtime. So Nick Carroll said today, he reached out to me. He's like, hey, Matt, are major companies and corporations dropping overtime because they can't afford it? Or are they dropping overtime because they kind of don't want to pay it? And I want to explain how overtime works in the corporate world. Is when you schedule a budget, usually your budget is actually written depending about a year in advance. Now, most companies do quarter one, which is January, March, and then April, May, June is 2, July, August, September is 3, and then October, November, December is 4. But there's a couple who are a pain in the asses, and Apple's one of them. Apple's quarter 4, the way this goes is it's 3 months ahead of schedule. So their quarter 1 starts October, November, December. Then January, February, March. Okay. So when you do your budget, most companies start it in quarter 2. And they begin and their P&L and their overall budget, and they start getting departments to report what their anticipated earnings will be, what their gross margins will be, what their year-over-year growth will be, and predictive forecasting will be, and then they will get their budget based upon what the corporation divvies out per department. So if 100% of the budget is satisfied, you would go to each department and you would take your largest departments based on percentage of overall fiscal revenue from previous year, and then you would assign a dollar amount to that department. So if one department makes up 67% of your sales, like the iPhone does make up about 91% of Apple's overall revenue, they would receive 91% of the expected revenue, with the expected budget would be high for them. Then you look at something that's worth, 1.7, $1.8 billion like iTunes is, and that's going to receive a very nominal budget. Okay. So here's what you predict on a P&L. You've got multiple scenarios. You've got overhead, which is pretty much encompasses everything from rent to water, to electricity, to payroll, to shrink and swell, to purchasing and acquisitions, to research and technology, to innovation, to infrastructure, to remodels, to real estate purchases. All of these type of things are rolled in. But what really is responsible at the store level, which would in this case be a Waffle House, would be a P&L for that 1,500 to 1,800 square foot business, would be food cost, would be labor cost, would be any promotional costs, and payroll and hiring expenditures and headcount, minus cleaning material and goods and services and all that shit. So what does all that mean? It means that the one thing that's not anticipated in any budget ever and has never been on any P&L, and I've done $2.2 billion P&Ls. I've been, just me, $2.2 billion I've been responsible for on a P&L. And I've been responsible for $26,000 P&Ls at Game Crazy in a single store. And I will tell you, the one thing I have never seen on any P&L from all the times I've done in a corporate work is overtime. It's never tabulated. And the reason why overtime, it means that something in your budget went wrong. So you use overtime. And the same thing that would take place with shrink and swell is you never anticipate shrink and you never anticipate swell. However, when you purchase inventory, they may take your previous annual inventory and say, okay, well, your swell was, your shrink was 0.2% of your overall inventory budget. Let's go ahead and calculate that into your next inventory as an anticipated loss, right? You can do that. But with overtime, you can't predict overtime, because if you're hiring right and you're scheduling correctly, you shouldn't need overtime. So when a company decides that it needs to pull back and it needs to trim the fat, what they have to do is cut the expenditures that are not anticipated, which would be charitable contributions, which would be donations, which would be a store that their real estate went up out of contract and they weren't able to negotiate a release. So, or a release. So maybe it's time to cut bait and close that store. These things are unexpected. And although might be anticipated from a real estate acquisition department, until it comes to fruition, they wouldn't calculate this in the overall budget. There's two things you can control when you're in a company. One is your inventory loss, and two is payroll theft or payroll loss. And the first things always to get cut is product or payroll. And this is usually the first sign that a company is bleeding. And if you see that your payroll is being cut, you might want to start looking for another job, because that's usually the kiss of death. And as somebody who has bankrupted with along 3.5 companies, payroll is the first thing to go. Staffing and hiring is considered payroll. Start firing people, that's also a sign. Now, overtime being cut, is that a sign? No. That is a new owner, new CEO, new CFO coming in and saying, our overtime is way too fucking high. We are the Waffle House, and there is no reason that we need 4 people working from balls to 4. So we're going to cut down a fry cook. We're going to go ahead and lose the front end hostess and have the waitresses rotate their own tables and bust their own tables, and we're going to cut OT. That is a very different thing than cutting payroll. Okay, so now that I've explained it, when someone says they don't want to pay overtime, no company wants to pay overtime. None. It's paid at a higher tax rate. They have to pay like 61% taxes of yours, so you don't have this 1099 form because you're a W-2 employee. If you become a 1099, you have to pay a larger tax chunk. So when you have overtime, they got to pay more taxes. That takes money out of their bottom line. And second, because it's a non-expenditure that was processed in the budget, it hurts worse, because $10 lost, $1 lost in retail takes $10 to make it up. So if you have overtime and you're paying someone time and a half over what you anticipated, you've got to go ahead and sell $120 for every $10 you pay them in overtime, or $12. So I'm going to put a bow on this. If a company is removing overtime from the business, it's because it is an unnecessary expenditure that is hitting the bottom line of the company, and they are looking to either expand, maybe get a loan, maybe to move into a new type of of expansion with food or a new menu, but they need to pay for something they didn't expect, and they're going to cut the overtime in order to make that happen. So that's usually what you see. Waffle House has been around forever. I can't imagine it going anywhere. It's a greasy spoon. It's a massive chain. It's highly profitable. They want to have one of the lowest food costs for one of the highest margin returns out of any restaurant in the United States. And that's saying something. Do I expect this to change? No. Do you need to find a new job to supplement your income? You might need to, because once usually a company cuts overtime, it doesn't come back ever. Amy, go ahead. And that was a long-winded reply.
I agree with everything you said. I'll just say on a personal note at Waffle House, because although Jason refuses to go eat at Waffle House, it is one of my children and my favorite places to go eat. Like, we love Waffle House. But we love it because we can get in and out in like 30 minutes. You are in the door, you've had your breakfast, you've paid, and you're full, you have your to-go boxes, you're out in like 30 minutes. It was a great meal and a great experience. I feel like it might mess with the amount of time you're in there, because it does run like a well-oiled machine. At least ours does. We go to the one in West Virginia, but I love it. We support them. I love Waffle House. Don't mess up my Waffle Houses, people.
I've never been to a Waffle House. I want to go, but
I've
I've never
have chicken
been.
and waffles. We have to go have chicken and waffles. And then you got to have steak and eggs. And anyone who hasn't had steak and eggs, you're missing out. It's the greatest thing in the world.
Well, guess what? We just went uptown. We have an IHOP that just moved into town.
I know.
I know.
Like, Tammy was pissed. Like, I was in Tammy's restaurant, and I'm like, I think we're going to go try out that IHOP. And she's like, why don't you fucking go there, Matthew? And without even turning around.
Well, hey, Ethan was like, Mom, we have to go. Mom, we have to go. And Hayden, like, it's right next to the urgent care I took her to on Saturday. And she goes, can't we just go in? I'm like, dude, you have strep. We're not going into a food establishment. But she's stoked because her high school, for their plays, their celebration after their last night is they go to IHOP. And they kind of make it of an all-night thing. Well, the closest one is 25 minutes away. Now it's like 3 minutes from the school. So it's going to be a little bit easier for rides and stuff. She's pretty stoked.
So I'm so excited. And Panera Bread. No, I just found out we have Panera Bread. I like don't Panera. Even know how to. I love it too. It's so good. I was like so excited today to see it. I'm like, I can't wait to have lunch there. I love it.
So that is our overtime, and I want everyone to realize that cutting overtime is an expense that is usually the first thing to go in any major business, especially in a restaurant. And then also waste, right? Waste is huge. Food cost is the end all be all. And if your food cost isn't producing margin, the reason why it's not producing margin is usually because of waste, or second, because your payroll's too high. So what they're probably going to do is Waffle House is going to streamline for a little bit. It's going to hurt for a little bit. The DM will get the feedback. DM will go up, bubble it up to the regional. Regional will come down. He'll ask for an expansion or an exception in the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, whatever it is, and make a change. So you really should only feel some pain points for about 90 days. But in the end, Waffle House has a priority not to pass the hurt to you, because then they're going to lose employees, and then they're going to need more overtime. And this is the never-ending thing why you don't fuck with people's pay. Waffle House will come out with something, but here's what I also am thinking, and this is something that is in my head, is Donald Trump is very serious, and it looks like there's a very good chance that no tax on tips is going to pass. If you're a fry cook, that doesn't help you. But what does help you is if there's no tax on tips, that burden that's claimed, and even though it might only be 10 or 15%, that's a lot of money for a company when you've got 50 waiters. So they might pass that on to the frontline cooks. The waiters and waitresses are going to be happy because they're going to have less taxes on tips. So they're going to see a bump. So therefore that savings will probably be passed on to the line cooks and the front or the back of the house type of people. And that's why it might be why they're reducing overtime, because that would put you in a different tax bracket and you're going to be making a lot more. And that also hurts the company too. This sounds like a restructure on financials to me. I would not worry about it, Nick. I think you're going to be fine. I would have told you if I would have heard something. This is why I'm really good at this fucking job. I miss working the corporations. It's what I know. It's very much like Amy in real estate. I know my shit. I was shit hot for years at it. I loved it, but alas, a podcast is better for me. Everyone feel good now that I bragged on myself? Good. Folks, we're accepting donations for Olivia's birthday. We've already hit our goal, but damn it, I want to crush this for her. It's a great day. I've told everybody I'm buying her a Hexclad set for her kitchen, and trust me when I say this, she's already had her birthday, but this is bonus time, so I'm going to match whatever we make and get her a Hexclad cooking center. What is up, Ames?
Question: does Hexclad sell a pot pie dish?
That would be a casserole dish.
She goes blank.
Yeah, she goes blank.
Black. Yeah.
So, no, but this set is 3 saute cooking pans and then like 3, boiling quart pans and then a couple of others. But something we're thinking. Anyway, so let's go and move on to the next segment. Thanks, everybody, for letting me do some overtime for a friend. This is Nick from Still Point. And they are good friends of the show, so I figured. Moving into the B block, little boy with cancer can't even help the Democrats. These soulless sons of bitches, dude.
They are showing their true colors. And I mean, it's not like we didn't already see it, but I think Democrats are starting to see it. Yeah.
The Toasted Yolk is one of the best breakfast places in the world. I'm with you, Jen. Olivia and I love it. I've got a mug from the Toasted Yolk. But I will tell you what's better than that is First Watch. First Watch blows Toasted Yolk. First Watch is the best breakfast place in America.
They're lemon. Is it lemon? What is? It's like lemon curd or something. It's like
doesn't matter.
so.
They're coffee.
It's the greatest. It's the greatest.
They
place
have
ever.
the best breakfast. I agree. It's a chain, but it's so good.
The First Watch is the greatest breakfast place ever made. Toasted Yolk is right up there. Le Peep used to be amazing. Then Le Peep sucked.
Yeah.
And then also the egg yolk is also good. Toasted Yolk, the egg yolk, which was in Phoenix, which was bought out by First Watch. But First Watch, hands down, is the best breakfast place you've ever been to. And you're going to pay.
Except for Tammy's Diner.
Except for Tammy's Diner. Yes, Tammy's Diner is, I'm not kidding. Tammy's Diner is the shit. I love Tam. I love her place. But I'm just telling you, First Watch, if you want a $25 breakfast, you go to First Watch. If you want to
pay $100 for a family of 4 for breakfast, go to First Watch.
If you want a $7.50 breakfast that'll knock your fucking socks off and keep you full all day, you go to Tammy's Diner.
Yes. But the $1 million bacon, you can't beat the $1 million bacon. Is that what it's called? $1 million bacon at First Watch?
I don't know, but it's pretty good. I will tell you what, the best place I've ever eaten was at the poultry. What the hell was it called? Oh, the Football Omelet in Chicago.
Oh yeah, that's right. You called me that night telling me about it. You've talked about it a lot too.
Best omelet I've ever had.
I think you told me how they made it.
I'll just tell you quickly how it's done. So you get all your stuff, like your bacon, you get your ham or your avocado or your salsa, your pico, your turkey, your chicken, whatever. It's a smorgasbord of just choose your own adventure. It looks like a surf and turf, right? Mongolian barbecue. And then they have this cast iron, like looks like a waffle iron, but it's not. It's 2 cast iron. And inside it's a football cut out of this cast iron. So it's concave. It's a half of a football. And what they do is they whip up the eggs. They put a little garlic in there, a little bit of, creme de mint and whatever. And they put it all in there or creme de mint. And they put it in there and they mix it in and a little bit of cream cheese and they whip it up. And it's this beautiful just concoction. And they pour it in. And then all he does is he takes a spatula and goes and does a circle and it layers the football with one half of an omelet. And then on the other hand, he does the same thing. So you have 2 halves. And then he puts in the cheese, he puts in the bacon, he puts in the chorizo, puts in the salsa, put in the avocado, cilantro, whatever, a little bit of rice, a little bit of beans, whatever it is, whatever you want in that omelet. And then he folds them together and he pours egg over both and folds them together. And when it comes out, it is an omelet and it looks like a football. Oh my God. And the thing is that you in
Chicago, like downtown.
Yeah, it's downtown Chicago. Yeah, I don't even know if it's still there. This was there.
It was Game Crazy, right?
No, this was for BBW when I was with Limited Brands.
Oh.
And anyway, we got there, and you get the thing is you can't have anything on your plate but the omelet. And inside are all your potatoes, like everything you would have. They even put like an English muffin. They put that in there.
Jeez.
Everything goes in, but they dice it up and slice it, and you just get this amazing omelet full of your entire breakfast. The second place is that we were in Sears Tower at one of the executive ballrooms, and we were having one of our events. And it wasn't Cheesecake Factory. I think it's called the Molded Cheesecake. It was something like that. I don't know what it was. Holy crap. They come in and they had these silver bowls that are in the table with a white cloth. And these silver bowls had everything from blueberries to strawberries to chocolate to white chocolate to mousse to every single type of good topping you can have. All of it's there. Caramel, all of it. So there's like probably 75 bowls on each side. And then next to these bowls, you have the subsequent powder. So it would be like a powdered blueberry, right? And it looks like Kool-Aid, but it doesn't have that granulated. It's more of like a powder, like flour. But every bowl, you have chocolate powder, you have blueberry powder, strawberry powder. So what they do is they have this giant cheesecake, and this cheesecake has to be like 3 feet in diameter, and it's got to be like this tall, like a foot and something. Amy, you got to hear this. Amy, let me know when you're done. You got to hear this.
I'm listening.
Take your time. You got to hear this cheesecake thing.
Shut my door.
Kids are first. I'll wait.
No, it's fine. It's all good. She was done anyway. It was just I had to look at her creation.
Okay, I just want you to hear this. It's really cool. So this cheesecake is like this. It looks like something you would find out of like Germany or in Switzerland. These giant cheese wedges, and this cheesecake is like graham cracker crust this thick, and it's all butter laid, and it's so damn good.
Is this Chicago as well?
Yeah, and then then the cheesecake is like that tall. So you walk by 100 bowls going down the thing. Strawberry, chocolate, white chocolate, whatever, and then a powder right next to it, which is exactly what's in the bowl. So a blueberry powder, like a flour, and it's got a blue color. So they cut you off a piece of cheesecake, and they put it on a plate. And then they have, okay, you've done this. Okay, so then there's this giant bowl, and in there is a pancake batter, but it is like, oh my God, like a vanilla truffle / like
cake. It's
ice
cake.
cream.
It's like literally a cake.
It is. And they take this cheesecake and they have it in a mesh holder, and they go, and they oh no, scratch that. They get another bowl, and then you go and say, I would like some blueberries, or like a blueberry, strawberry, white chocolate mixture. So they get the powder, and they pour it in, 3 of them, and they mix up the batter, and then they take the cheesecake and dip it into the batter, and then it comes out. It's like, oh, and then they open up the lid, and there's a deep fryer. They put a little thingy, and they go, they drop it in the deep fryer. They put it in there for like, 30 seconds. And all of a sudden, they bring out this golden brown, gorgeous, freaking giant piece of cheesecake, and then they lay it on its side, and they put it on that plate. And then they get a bunch of powdered sugar. They sprinkle it all over, or drizzle caramel. But then they go to the bowls and they scoop up blueberries, put it on top. They scoop up the strawberries, put it on top. Get the white chocolate shavings, put it on top. And then they have this homemade whipped cream that I can't explain to you. And they give you this 7,000 calorie heart attack waiting to happen. And then they top it off with a giant glass of like 39-degree milk. And they set it in front of you. It's the greatest cheesecake ever in the world. I don't remember what it's called, but it's in Chicago. Amy says she's had it.
I've been there. So I actually opted to not eat there because I don't care for cheesecake. But I was there on a work trip once. I'm trying to find the place. And I remember going with all of my girlfriends that I worked with, and the one girl got one, and it's like a milk. It comes with like a milkshake, not even like a glass of milk. It's like truly a milkshake they serve. And I remember just thinking like, oh my gosh, like this, it's enormous. It was like as big as my head. I'm not, and Matt's not, yes. And it's all the bowls. It didn't register at first. And it's like, they have like a restaurant like you can sit down, or they have like they have like the window you could walk up to. So you could do either or. We did the restaurant. I don't eat cheesecake really. It's not my thing, but I remember
I took a bite. I took a bite.
It
was delicious.
Is it like your week's worth of calories in one shot?
Oh, it's like 7,500 calories for this thing. It's like your entire, yes. And your sugar level, it's incredible. I took one bite and I was like, oh my God. But when you bite into it, it's got this crunch on the outside like fish batter, but it tastes like cake. And then inside, the cheesecake isn't melted, but it's warm. And when you bite into it, it just melts in your mouth. It is delicious. Like, I'm not kidding. I can't remember the name of it, but I've eaten, listen, I have eaten at places that I can't even begin to tell you. Because when you got
because that's what's coming up. I don't know.
That sounds familiar. I'll find it. I've got photographs of it, but I will tell you, when we have Black American Express cards, when you're a regional or a VP, I mean, you go out and you'll spend $15,000 on a party of 20. I mean, you just have these incredible nights on these companies because these companies are worth billions, right? I mean, limited brands, Apple, Comcast. I mean, we would have these incredible nights. So anyway, I'll find out the restaurant. Let's get to this little boy where liberals are horrible.
The interview with the little boy, like after this.
I've got it. I'm going to show it to you.
I love him.
I also have the MSNBC where they said they hope that he doesn't die.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, wait till you hear this shit. Listen to this. Yeah. Watch this.
I just thought that was awesome, and he hugged him. Yeah. That's so sweet.
Thank you, DJ.
One Democrat stood. Let me show you the rest of the videos. Here is the interview, not full interview, but here is the Ethan's going to bed real quick. Hold on one second.
Oh, hi, Ethan.
Amy says hi. I love you, Squirt.
Love you.
Good night, buddy, man. See ya. Here is.
Good night.
Good night. Here is DJ going and talking to President Trump.
There's one more thing I got for you. Big hug.
Okay, good.
Oh,
that's very nice. Look at that family you got, huh? Very nice. How are you? Nice to see you, man. That was a big evening last night, right? Yes, it was. That was a big evening. What a good-looking family, huh?
There's one more thing I got.
Man,
what a sweet kid.
What a sweet kid.
I love this kid. I just love him.
I know, but here's who doesn't. MSNBC.
I think this was a lesson.
With their bullshit. It's just
who was
evil,
the lone Dem who stood for him?
I'll tell you in a second. Here is this evil, just piece of, listen.
I think this was a lesson in finding one thing that you let yourself feel. And I let myself feel joy about DJ. And I hope he's alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump's supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then live to see Donald Trump pardon those people. But I think this was a lesson in finding
what
that was just everything you said just was erased by what you said after the but.
Why do Democrats hate black people so much? Seriously, especially ones that don't buy into their narrative. This is Laura Gillen from New York. She was the one who stood for DJ, by the way. Go ahead, Amy.
They hate children. I'm convinced of this. I think these people, not everybody, obviously, but these people who are saying these horrifying things. I don't know if this lady has children, but if she does, I genuinely hope they're okay. And I will pray for them, because if that was my mom, I would be appalled. That was not the interview I saw. I saw another interview of him, and I actually saved it.
I got it.
I loved it so much. And I don't know who this child is, but I don't know how your heart doesn't fall in love with him, and his family, they're just he's supposed to be dead. And this child is still living, and he's doing well, and he's thriving. And you're talking about, I hope he doesn't have to commit suicide later or have a heart attack. Like, how dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you? You clearly
Yeah.
don't have children because you don't know what it's like to have a heart. This child is fighting for his life every day, and you are the most heartless, evil person to walk the earth. And I hope I don't like to say people should lose their jobs, but she should retire.
Her
That's all.
show should have been canceled, just like Joe Reed.
Well, listen, my thoughts are, at least they're not aborting him. I mean, that's usually what they do. Here is Rachel Madcow. This woman is just a bitter dyke. I swear to God, I have no problem saying it. Listen, I don't believe in racial epitaphs. I don't believe in homophobic slurs. I believe in assholes and not assholes. And if you're an asshole and you're a lesbian, you're a dyke. Okay, and she is just a man-hating dyke. Listen to her shit.
For the record, and this is disgusting, the president made a spectacle out of praising a young man who thus far survived pediatric cancer, as if the president had something to do with that. This was in the midst of him praising Doge. The Doge cuts, among other things, have cut off funding for ongoing research into pediatric cancer. For the record,
they're
they're horrible people. President Trump didn't do that for his glory. He put the spotlight on the kid. He put the spotlight on those families, and they're there for a reason, so the world can hear their story and the country can hear their story.
I love that you said that.
It's awful. I mean, and he
DJ Daniel.
He said Lakin. What, I can't remember her last name, and now I'm screwing
Riley.
up. Lakin Riley. He said her name correct, as opposed to our previous president. So,
yeah, he called him Lincoln. Called her Lincoln Riley.
Yeah,
I can say her name, Lincoln Riley. Here is the interview that Amy's talking about. I think because this is the one that I thought was amazing. Here it is.
Can I call you officer or agent, DJ Daniel, all of the above?
It really don't matter to me. I love women, so I don't care.
That's amazing. DJ Daniel, I want to ask you, first and foremost, do you love President Trump? And are you so excited to be here on the White House grounds?
Obviously, because I gave him a great note that says Donald Trump is the best president of the United States of America.
And why do you feel that way?
Because honestly, I honestly wanted to see Donald Trump in real life, and now it's actually came true. And to my friends, I know one of my friends told me to say this to Donald Trump, but I didn't say it to him. So good luck, buddy.
Last thing, because we know you got to bounce. What would your one piece of advice for the Secret Service be?
Please stop being mean to President Trump, because if I see you being mean to him, I'm coming after you.
I love that. I think you need to become the director of the Secret Service. DJ, it is such an honor to have met you. He has one more thing to say. I won't interrupt you.
If you're a Democrat and you're being mean to President Trump, I'm on your bumper.
You are about to go so viral, and you went viral last night.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of acting like Miss Candace Matthews from Houston, Texas.
That's amazing. Do you have anything else that you want to say? You should just take my job at this point.
May bless America.
How about that, Steve? I think
hold on. Debbie says I couldn't either, but I went in through Matt's chat link and it worked.
What?
Are we having problems with donations, folks?
They're talking about replying to something.
Oh, okay.
Found my replacement, your
Thank you.
replacement.
Thank you.
Would you ever run for president?
I'm not sure. I'm a little bit too young. Well, really and truly, I'm not young. I'm a 13. I'm a 50-year-old trapped in a 50-year-old body. I might look 13, but I'm 50.
I love that, and it sounds like you gotta go. The War Room Posse loves you. It's an honor to have met you, sir.
I can't go yet because I see a little bald spot. I rub bald heads for good luck, if you know.
I think they want you to go, so I think you're gonna have to go.
Okay. Never mind.
Very nice to meet you.
Oh my gosh.
DJ.
That's
That is-
awesome.
That is
I'm
not.
gonna make a shirt.
I texted you
love
the
it.
one. Yeah, I texted you the one I saw with him,
Okay.
which is totally different than these. He's talking about his brain surgeries that he's had and how his
Which one know the
personality
craziest part? Because my mom bathes.
It's
Okay,
really
let's-
like heartbreaking, and like it makes me fall in love with him even more. These are also great. Like I just love this kid. I don't know who he is, but like I want to be his best friend. Like I love this kid. He's awesome.
Well, let's watch it.
What you want to know the craziest part? Because my mom bathes me and my brothers all together, and out of nowhere I locked up, and then my dad was calling my name, and I started going to the slow thing, and he said stop playing with me, and then I started to act, I ain't gonna lie, I started to act slow, and then as soon as he said that, we was speeding all the way, running lights, going to the hospital, and then next thing you know I was seizing on the table. They said no, we gonna have to go in his brain tonight. Ever since then I had. What you want to know the craziest part?
Fuck you, TikTok.
Because my mom bathes me and my brothers all together, and out of nowhere I locked up, and then my dad.
Okay, here we go. Sorry for that bullshit.
What you want to know the craziest part? Because my mom bathes me and my brothers all together, and out of nowhere I locked up, and then my dad was calling my name, and I started going to the slow thing, and he said stop playing with me, and then I started to act, I ain't gonna lie, I started to act slow, and then as soon as he said that, we was speeding all the way, running lights, going to the hospital, and then next thing you know I was seizing on the table. They said no, we gonna have to go in his brain tonight. Ever since then, I had 13 brain surgeries, and that's how many times my personality has changed. And that's something that you don't hear from a terminally ill child. They had 5 months to live. I'm gonna keep on going until my gas tanks run out. And that's when God calls you home. You never know when God's gonna call you home. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. And I know he's pretty proud of me, and I'm pretty proud of him too. And I'd like to thank President Trump, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today.
Wow. It's pretty impressive.
I just love that kid so much.
Wow,
Like he
that's
is
amazing.
impressive. He's 13. 13.
Yeah.
I can't even like wrap my head around that. He's so young and just such
So
a
mature. But I
Yes.
mean, you kind of have to, having,
Yeah.
you know, terminal cancer, you kind of have to grow up real quick. But he's handling it well, it seems. And I mean, I've seen kids that have cancer, and they are just the most happy, optimistic kids, and they're amazing.
Well, Joseph, I can't keep playing clips. I got plenty of else to do, and I've only got like 40 minutes left on the night. We'll be right back and going into C Block. By the way, folks, we are raising for Olivia for the hex-clad birthday present from her sweet husband here, matching whatever we do tonight and getting her a brand new kitchen set, because damn it, happy birthday. She's already had her birthday, but we want to do a little extra if you're willing. She's at 567.53 out of 450. I think we hit goal in the first like 12 minutes. Since then, it's slowed down a little bit. So if you have not had a chance if you have not had a chance to donate, we'll get back to where we're at in just a second. But please do go to thedumbshow.com/donate and listen to this. We'll be right back.
The Dumb Store is veteran-owned with a 5-star diamond rating for service and satisfaction. We offer quality products like coffee, shirts, hoodies, and hats, all made by veterans. Shop with confidence, backed by hundreds of 5-star reviews. Use code DUMB10 to save 10%. Visit thedumbshow.com today. Thank you for your support.
You need to make a shirt of I'm on your bumper.
I am. I'm on your bumper. I'm going to make that shirt.
That's
Trust me. Boston Mayor segment is up next, but we're going to do a quick update on where we're at with donations. Olivia, where are we at?
All right, we got 2 more. Thomas Griffiths, happy birthday, Olivia. Cool hat, Matt, $50.
Wow. Thank
Who's
you.
that from, Thomas?
Thomas Griffiths.
Thank you, Thomas.
And then my brother, Brad St. Vincent, wrong brother. It's just in brother and name only.
Yes.
From Brother Brad, Mama Judy, and Father Brad. Love you guys and happy birthday, Olivia. 2110.
2110. What's total?
638.63.
638.63. Thank you guys for a great birthday.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Very much appreciate it.
Is that kid from Texas?
Yeah.
Yes.
From Houston.
Okay. He's got a very cool Southern accent.
Yeah, absolutely. Where is it? Here it is. Let's see if I can find this. 1 second. So you guys remember the Boston mayor who gave her condolences to the person who tried to stab everybody in Chick-fil-A, and it was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I hope this person finds peace and love and serenity and all this bullshit. Here is the video, and then I'm going to show you something else about her. Here it is.
My condolences and all of our thoughts are with the family of the individual whose life has been lost.
Wow. We want to go ahead and include the Taliban or the Al-Qaeda or the Saudi Arabian hijackers who 9/11 for their sacrifice. This is her testifying
we are the safest
about
city in the nation because
about
you
illegals in
belong
her
here.
country.
This
Or her city, excuse me. I apologize, everybody. Here is the statement. Enjoy this.
You belong here. This is your home. Boston es tu hogar. Boston c'est la caillou. 这是你的家. This is our city. We are the safest major city in the nation because we are safe for everyone.
No, you're not.
You belong here. This is your home.
No, you're not.
Oh.
And hold on.
Guys.
Hold on. Down, girl. Down. Hold on.
With the freaking Catholic ashes on after the sermon we had this morning, I'm sorry. I'm just I'm fired up.
Good. Then watch this, and then you'll really be fired up. Here
Thank
is
you, Mr.
Virginia
Chairman.
Fox. I call her Silver Fox because I love this lady. She is a fireball. This is Ro Khanna, and screw him. But she basically gets to have every mayor on this panel admit how much they're spending on illegal immigrants, and then Amy's going to go off. Here it is.
Gentlemen's time's expired. Chair recognizes Dr. Fox from North Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mayor Johnson, in the last 4 years, how much has Chicago spent on care for illegal aliens?
Thank you for that question, Congresswoman. So since 2022, since the governor of Texas began
Just
shipping...
tell me a number. I don't need a speech. Just tell me a number.
So since 2022, since the governor of Texas was shipping individuals to cities across this country, the city's budget, roughly 1% of the city's budget over the course of 4 years.
Mayor Johnston, the same question, and I don't need a speech, just a number.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Thank you, Congresswoman. It's $79 million over the last 2.5 years.
Mayor Adams, same question. How much has New York spent to care for illegal aliens?
Approximately $6.9 billion went out of our taxpayers' funds.
Mayor Wu, same question. How much has Boston spent to care for illegal aliens in the last 4 years?
We do not ask about immigration status and giving city services and providing that access, so we do not have a number.
Taxpayers have been bearing the brunt of the massive wave of illegal aliens who've entered the United States. The Biden administration seemingly declared taxpayers and hardworking Americans collateral damage in the pursuit of open borders. Again, Mayor Johnson, are NGOs providing services to illegal aliens in Chicago?
In accordance with the Welcoming City Ordinance, our sister agencies or city departments, we do not seek the status of any individual that is seeking service.
Mayor Johnston, are NGOs providing services to illegal aliens in Denver?
Thank you, ma'am. When folks arrive on the streets without food or resources or shelter, we do provide food or shelter regardless of where folks arrive from.
Dickhead.
Mayor Adams, same question.
Yes, in combination of city agencies and nonprofits, we responded to the migrant asylum seekers humanitarian crisis that hit our city.
And Mayor Wu, I assume you don't know their status, but do you know if there are NGOs are providing services to people arriving in your city without any kind of documentation?
There are community organizations, many of them in Boston, who seek to serve all of our Boston residents.
Congress must provide oversight and ensure.
So let me just give you the breakdown, and then Amy and Olivia will have an opinion, I'm sure. So just to make sure you understand, since some gave percentages because they didn't want your dick to fall off or subsequent genitalia, whatever you may possess. I don't want to, pry. Since they can't ask about illegals, I don't want to know what you've got between your legs. Chicago, 574.5 million. Denver, 79 million. New York City, 6.9 billion. Boston doesn't ask, but if we go ahead and take a look at overall illegal immigration across other cities of comparable size, you would be looking at something close to $3.1 billion in Chicago. So you're looking at about, just all in from all of those combined, about $12 billion plus is being spent on illegals, and that's coming from 4 cities. Amy, you go, then Liv.
Oh, okay.
And answer this first, since you're a cataholic.
What's on Moves for? Today is Ash Wednesday. It is the beginning of the Lent season for us Catholics. So I washed mine off. I don't normally do it, but I did today. And I had a good one today.
I was going to ask you why.
I normally wear it. Why? We were supposed to have dinner out tonight, but then I ended up working, so I just washed it off because I just don't like to push my religion on other people. So when I'm working, I do usually take it off. But in the past, I've worn it on the show. My kids, I think, still have theirs on. It's a Catholic thing. It's just a reminder for us Catholics that we have come from dust and that our bodies will return to dust. It's an outward symbol for showing the penance that we do for the sins that we commit as humans. And this is why I'm outraged by this woo person. Because in the Bible, it's very clear, especially clear in the Bible, about the importance of borders. And it is outlined so many times, so that she is claiming she is a Catholic. I'm assuming by her outward ashes that she's wearing, but she is not abiding by the Catholic doctrine that is taught to us. So it's the beginning of the freaking Bible. It's clearly outlined. So from a biblical standpoint, from a Catholic standpoint, I'm just outraged to see this woman defending the people who are breaking our laws here by illegally crossing our borders, by illegally taking our money, and I don't know. I'm actually so frustrated by this. I feel like I'm at a loss of words. I'm sorry, but it's wrong. It's wrong as from a biblical standpoint, which is what she's outwardly projecting. So I wouldn't attack her on this standpoint unless she had the ashes on. But it's also wrong by our freaking Constitution, by our bylaws, by our laws, by our state laws, by our governance. It's wrong on every single level, and I'm tired of it. So sorry, that might be like the emotional. I'm just
no. It's an emotional topic. I mean, it would be like me coming and taking my money from my family's bank account and just giving it to a homeless person on the street who we don't know or know anything about. I mean, you're taking taxpayer dollars, which are in good faith given to the government, to redistribute to the common good for the citizen. The illegals don't help the common good. They don't help the citizens. In fact, the only thing they do is help Mexico and the other places where they send the money out of our country and somewhere else. Olivia, your thoughts on this woo character? I mean, seriously, what is up with these uppity liberal women? My God, I thought women were supposed, and they're all wore pink the other night, and the transgender was wearing pink. And I'm like, this is supposed to be in honor of women, but you have a guy wearing freaking pink. You don't even know what a woman is. You don't know what it stands for. What are you celebrating? It was better when you guys wore white like you used to when you wore the Klan robes. Liv, your thoughts?
Why are my taxes going up to support people who are not citizens of this country? I mean, I wonder how much the residents of New York and Boston and Denver, how much their taxes have gone up over the last 4 years because of this. This should not be an issue.
Yeah.
Our tax dollars should not go to illegal aliens, just like our tax dollars should not go to support felons and people who have broken crimes, regardless if they're citizens of this country, because they are a criminal. So, and I understand, you know, you've got district attorneys and, you know, they have the right to, you know, an attorney and blah, 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 and that's provided for them. But our taxes should not be going to pay for hotel rooms and healthcare and freaking cell phones and plane tickets and new clothes and freaking cars and whatever else they're buying for these.
Groceries.
Yeah, I mean, whatever they're buying for these illegal. No, I did not work my ass off to pay for somebody who's breaking the law to live a better life than our veterans. That money, I would gladly pay more taxes if it went directly to veterans and helped the homeless veterans and helped get the VA on its feet again to help veterans, and it went to veterans causes. I would be totally down with that. But to pay for an illegal alien, fuck no. Get them the hell out of my country. I don't care the age. I don't care if it's an 85-year-old grandma. I don't care if it's a 2-year-old kid. Call me freaking heartless. Freaking get out of my country. Come over here correctly.
Every single Democrat voted against banning men and women's sports the day before. And I was going to mention that they wore pink. Yeah. So it's all just pandering and posturing. This is the Democrat Party. The next segment is going into, we're going to continue the topic. I know Amy's got a little more, but it's going to go right into this topic, which is the Democrats are so desperate. The only thing they have left is to burn it down. Literally, like the summer of love. I believe that's next.
Join WimKen.com, the social media platform built for free speech and true connection. No censorship, no algorithms controlling your feed, just genuine conversations and a commitment to protecting your rights. Sign up today at WimKen.com and take back your voice. Tell them Matt and the Dumb Show sent you.
So Ayanna Pressley, known as the Black Dr. Evil, had some things to say tonight and got into it with Comer. And I want you to listen to this. And $1 billion, homie.
It's freaking freezing in here, Mr. Bigglesworth. She just eats the cat. She totally, what you need to do is you need to take a picture of a cat and impose it on her right there just to make it better.
He actually is quite astute. I am trying to kill him. He's a wily little shit like his old man. Ayanna Pressley gets into it with Comer. This is an interesting one. Watch this.
Put it in the record.
I have an internet.
You have what?
Mr. Chair, can I have several articles. I need to enter them. Let me just go ahead with what the articles are.
What's the next article?
Let me proceed. Data from Texas shows that U.S.-born Americans commit more rape and murder than immigrants.
Listen, this trend of you all trying to get thrown out of committee so you can get on MSNBC is going to end. We're not going to put up with it.
This is my procedural right as a member of this committee.
You can go with Mr. Frost and Mr. Green.
I'm reclaiming my time.
That's what you want. No. Ms. Presley, I have been very accommodating to you. Mr. Subrajan,
and I take particular umbrage as a survivor of sexual violence. I will insert into the record. This is my right. Thank you.
No. It is Mr. Subrajan.
Mr. Chair?
No. You know the process of unanimous consent. You are not recognized.
I have several articles to enter into the record.
Mr. Subrajan, if you don't go, we're going to recognize Mr. Timmons.
They need to shut off the mics. They need to have a mic shut off.
I'm so sick of these people. Here is Daniel Goldman.
Employees all over the place.
This guy's worth more than pretty much everybody in the Democratic Party, but he's going to tell you why it's really Republicans who are truly evil. Listen to this.
Promised the American people that he was going to help middle-class Americans. He was going to lower the price of eggs. He was going to lower costs. Since he came in 6 weeks ago, all he has done is hiked costs. Eggs are up 15%. Inflation is up. Gas is up. And now he's putting tariffs on our allies, our close trading partners, which is going to increase prices even more. Prescription drug prices. He undid all of the benefits that President Biden and the Democrats implemented to lower prescription drug prices. He is now cutting with disdainfully and cruelly, to your point, federal employees all over the place who are hardworking patriots that are doing the essential work to provide essential services to Americans. He lied on the campaign, pure and simple. And what he is doing now is pure corruption and revenge. Those are the two things that he's focused on. It's a get rich quick and get out of jail free presidency.
They don't have anything else. They don't know what to run on. They don't know what to do. They're scrambling. They're trying the same old tactics, the Saul Alinsky playbook. They're using disinformation. Donald Trump is no more responsible for the price of eggs than he's responsible for what happened on the border.
I was just going to say that.
The only thing he's responsible... Okay, I'll let you say it. Then let me go ahead and shift gears. Here's what it comes down to. Democrats are so fucking desperate. The only thing that they're going to be able to do is create as much havoc possible in the public sector. They can't even create havoc anymore when it comes to the rule of law and in Washington because they have lost all power. Their lobbying dollars, their political action committee dollars are drying up. They know this because they're feckless and they have absolutely no impact in Washington because they have no leverage anymore. They can't stop Trump. They couldn't kill Trump. They couldn't lawfare Trump. They couldn't break Trump. And he has his entire cabinet. They have nothing. So the only thing that they have are their constituents who hate America and hate white people because they've been told their entire lives that everything bad in their lives is because of white people and this country. And they are going to start burning it the fuck down. If they don't get the satisfaction that they want, if they don't see the midterms that they want, I promise you, fires are going to burn the cities down. Liv, go ahead, then Amy.
I was just going to say, as far as the eggs, I love how they all bring up the cost of eggs. Do you remember it was President Biden that killed how many millions of chickens?
12 million.
That's the reason the price of eggs went up. This just happened. I'm sorry, but it's not like we can have full-grown adult egg-laying chickens overnight. They have to breed and you have to grow. They have to grow up and mature to be able to lay the eggs, and it's going to take a little bit of time. I mean, it's like they came out like the day after his inauguration was like, the price of eggs isn't down. The price of gas isn't down. The price of groceries isn't down. Look at him. He's been in office for 12 hours, for goodness sakes. I mean, my goodness. But I did fill up the car today for $2.99 a gallon, which is a huge. That was in Lovettsville. I was in Lovettsville. By the way,
is our energy prices look like they're going to go down?
I hope.
Oh, God, I hope so.
Well, if energy prices go down, everything else drops, and this is his plan, right? So the people need to understand is that he cannot do it overnight. Yes, stock market's going to take a little bit of a hit. Yes, we know what the tariffs are going to do. He is playing long-term here. And anyone who sits here and goes, wait a second, America puts on tariffs, all they're doing is passing on that penalty to Americans. Then what are Canadians doing? Passing it on to Canadians? Why are they reimposing tariffs and increasing them? Why is China doing it? Why is Mexico? If it hurts the citizens of Canada, you can't have it both ways, you sanctimonious dick fucks. I am so sick of this conversation. Yes, prices are going to go up on a certain amount of goods, but it's also going to hurt Canada. Why? Well, it's pretty simple, folks, because we buy a shit ton more from them than we go ahead and give them. That is a simple thing. They're not our biggest trading partner. That means that they are going to hurt because they're going to lose that revenue. Yes, the United States is going to see some increases, but net goods are always going to lose more for them than purchasing goods is going to lose for us. Amy, crush it. Go get them.
Yes, absolutely agree. I filled up my tank today for $72, which is about $30 less than what I normally pay for a full tank. So I was super excited about that. I'll just say that. Yes, price of eggs. It's not even necessarily Biden's fault. I'm not actually blaming him. I think he did have a part in raising the prices because of the decisions that he made. But the bird flu is a real thing. It is going around. We've had to get rid of a lot of chickens to stop the spread and 2 week flatten the curve for the chickens. I don't know. I'm totally kidding.
2 weeks to grow the bird. Yes.
I do want to point out a bit of hypocrisy. I didn't catch the first clip and I didn't see it on mainstream media today either. I don't know what that lady was talking. It was a lady, right? The lady, she had like a, I don't.
The Black Dr. Evil. Yes. She is complaint. She wanted to put in all about how Americans are the most violent and illegals are the most innocent, sweet people on the planet and never do anything wrong.
I thought she had pointed out something about the Me Too movement. And I just wanted to point out, and I did not watch the Oscars, so I am not super well versed on this. However, I do know for a fact, and I don't know the name of the movie, but it was the movie about the sex worker or sex workers. I'm not sure, prostitutes, however you want to phrase it. I'm not sure the name of it, but that won some awards. And I just would like to remind Hollywood that they are very left-leaning and they came after Donald Trump for the whole Stormy Daniels debacle, who is a sex worker. So pick a fucking lane.
Go get him, Amy.
Go get him, Amy. Which came first, a chicken or an egg? Single cell organism is going to come first before
God created life. So
yeah,
chicken.
Or scientifically, a single cell organism is a lot less complex than an entire bodied chicken. So therefore, the single cell organism in the hierarchy of life would have come first. I hope that helps. Or God did it. So so it comes down to this: Democrats are reeling. They can't understand. They're trying to do whatever they can. They're trying to hit on the stock market. But what they don't care about is that the stock market actually recovered under Donald Trump after COVID. And they've been riding the coattails of this. Honestly, I'd rather see the stock market self-correct. It is a bubble that is going to burst. It is way too high. There is no reason for that. We have not grown our infrastructure. We have not expanded our corporations. We have not expanded the hiring pool. We're not really making anything new. To see this huge burst in the stock market when inflation is so high, the Fed is trying to control interest rates to bring down inflation. That's a false negative, and are a false positive. I want to see the market correct. I believe we could probably lose anywhere from $3,500 to $4,200 of valuation in the market, and we would be just fine. Then you kind of get the ground floor going again, because if you look, some of the big heavy hitters like Bitcoin are down like $27,000. A lot of the investments that are these internet millionaires, this is pushing and driving the stock market where it wants to go. People sooner rather than later are not going to be happy if these investments into Bitcoin don't start turning profit. If they continue to lose, they will no longer be bullish on the market. And when that happens, it's going to have an impact. We don't want these false numbers. We saw this with a .com burst. We saw this with the real estate crisis. We saw this during COVID, is that these false elevations in the stock market are not indicative of where the economy is. And I'll give you a perfect example. If we take a look when the stock market was the highest, look where inflation was at. Look where gas prices were at. Look where food prices, look what wood and lumber was at. So a good stock market is not indicative of a great economy. And I said that under Trump when his was rocking. Matt, check the CFPB and keep an eye on it for Congress. Okay. Folks,
what's that?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm Consumer Federal Peanut Butter and Jelly Sandwich Bureau. I don't know. Folks, it is Olivia's birthday goal night, 638.63. We've already crushed goal, but we want to make it even better. I want to get Olivia a wonderful present. I'm going to match whatever we do and get her the Hexglad cooking because every good woman should want shit for the kitchen. Liv, where are we at?
All right. JD Stillwell, keep the birthday girl happy, $10.
Okay. Thank you, JD.
Ronnie Ford, happy born day Queen Spear. That would be Bubba on YouTube, $10. Mr. Stephen Cornett, happy birthday, $100. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bubba. Thank you, Steve.
Appreciate it. Ashley Gleason, happy birthday, Olivia, $25.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, Ashley.
Lois Bentley, happy birthday, Olivia, $21.10.
Very nice. Thank you. Everyone get their books today? Let me know, please.
Mr. Joseph Hillstrom, not Frank, Joseph. Happy birthday, Olivia. Enjoy your night and let the hair down. $21.10.
Hair's coming down. Are we good?
Nope, one more. And Matt, How it's 3140. Happy birthday, Olivia. 30 never looked better. Thank you very much.
Just sucking up. Jeez, like the money wasn't enough.
857.23. Thank you all very, very much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, guys and girls. 857.23. That is an amazing, amazing night for your birthday. Thank you all so much for taking care of Olivia.
All of it. Thank you so very much.
We're going to go into our last segment tonight and then get everybody off. Amy, you are just a doll for staying late with us, and we're going to try to get you out here as quick as possible.
And it doesn't have to be now, but Joanne Kingsley Thomas asked a question, so I would like to address that later on or whatever. So
yeah, let's do that. We'll have some overtime. And this is a quick segment, so let's knock this out right after this.
The Dumb Store is veteran-owned.
Thank you, Chef Lady. You don't have to worry about not being able to give money. That's enough. Happy birthday's plenty.
Like coffee, shirts, hoodies, and hats, all made by veterans. Shop with confidence, backed by hundreds of 5-star reviews. Use code DUMB10 to save 10%. Visit thedumbshow.com today. Thank you for your support.
Amazing coffee made by veterans. I'm telling you, this stuff is flying off the shelves. 4547 is becoming one of our most popular brands. It won't pass up Moab because Moab is the shiznit. But this coffee is veteran made. It is in a resealable bag. It is roasted 72 hours before you receive it. My good friend Matt Hawley, an Army veteran, good dude in Wisconsin. He gets all of his beans. Kenya, Guatemala. He gets them in South America, Hawaii. He even has U.S.-made beans, but his are just unbelievable. He buys them in bulk. They are the freshest of the fresh. And I promise you, this 1-pound bag of coffee will last you longer than any other bag you buy. Doesn't matter if you go to Black Rifle Coffee. Doesn't matter if you go to Maxwell House. The reason why is because it is roasted right away. It doesn't sit in this bag. It's not freeze-dried. It doesn't lose its oils and its natural ability just to be an amazing cup of coffee when it is treated properly. When you get it, do yourself a favor, whether you buy the whole or the ground, use the French press, and you will have 1 cup of coffee and be zinging at 9 o'clock at night. It's that good. It has a 5-star rating along with all of our stuff on the Donut Friendly Show. We are now 209 5-star ratings, over 5,000 sales. Our shirts, Amy has owned that one since for pretty much forever. Olivia's owned.
This was my first one that I got too.
We've worn these shirts at least 100 times, and they constantly come back. You throw them in the wash. They last
4
forever.
years.
My stuff, 4 years. My stuff's not cheap. And the reason why it's not cheap is because it's high quality, good shit. Go over to thedumbshow.com. Have a good time. Here, see if you can recognize this name while Olivia's on a pee break. You guys listen to this voice. Tell me who it is and listen to this BS. Here it is.
It's part of this worldview that's basically telling everybody we're going to get you a bigger slice of a smaller pie. But he doesn't really care whether that comes true. Remember, for him, it really is a little disturbance. If eggs are $10 and you're a billionaire, that's a little disturbance for you, but not for most people. It's part of this worldview that's basically telling everybody we're going to get you a bigger slice of a small.
Who is it? Get your guesses in. Tell me who you think it is. I'd like to get your thought. While we do that, we have a joke from Amy. Why did the chicken cross the road to get to the idiot's house? Knock, knock. Who's there? The chicken.
Sorry, my old lady bladder couldn't hold it anymore.
That's okay. I'm still trying to figure out that joke. That's okay. Were you calling me an idiot? I'm not sure. But either way, we appreciate it. Folks, can you guess who it was? Does anyone have a guess? Come on, somebody's got a guess. Little fun.
It's like so familiar too. I'm like racking my brain. I need to hear it again.
Okay, here it is. See if you can guess.
Or pie. But he doesn't really care whether that comes true. Remember, for him, it really is a little disturbance. If eggs are $10 and you're a billionaire, that's a little disturbance for you, but not for most people.
Kat got it right. Booty juice. It's Pete Buttigieg,
Yes.
and that is correct. Of course.
I was like, it's someone on the left. I just couldn't pinpoint who it was.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's the guy who basically brings his bike in 6 SUVs to ride 1 block to his job. This is the guy that's going to talk to you about the price of eggs when he's wearing a $3,000 suit.
And talking about fish spawning or whatever.
And getting paternity leave.
What a
Sorry.
breastfed douche plow. Here is Miss Levitt, who
Why? Because Canada is allowing
still
that
love and still think she looks like the lady from Days of Our Lives. We are in the F block. We are almost out of here. We jumped E. Why? Because I wanted to. Let's get you guys. Oh, come on, damn it. Oh, cannot believe it. Close that and F block. All right, here it is.
So there's been more than a 2,000% increase in illegal fentanyl seizure at the northern border. Why? Because Canada is allowing that fentanyl to come to the United States. The president sees these numbers. He thinks about the lives that are lost. And everybody in this room, I'm sure, everybody watching at home, everybody across the country knows someone in our lives who has been killed at the hands of this deadly poison. There needs to be repercussions for that. The president feels very strongly about it.
Caroline, respectfully, it's just 43 pounds that were found last year. That's less than a carry-on suitcase. Is that a lot of fentanyl compared to, say, Mexico, where the vast majority of the fentanyl is brought in through Mexico, not Canada? So what else does Canada need to do?
Well, I just told you, last year alone, there was a 2,000% increase in illegal fentanyl. You're asking me for what the president's justification is for these tariffs. It's not up to you. You're not the president, Gabe. And frankly, I think it's a little bit disrespectful to the families in this country who have lost loved ones at the hands of this deadly poison. If you talk to them, and this president has, they are grateful that they finally have a president who is standing up to both Canada and Mexico, and most. So there's.
All right, this one's mine. Sorry, I usually hand it off, but fuck that. I'm taking it. Here's what it comes down to. If you want to look, by the way, folks, 857.23. I'm just going to put it out there. We've never had $1,000 night before. Kind of would be cool. Not saying you have to if you have the ability. If you thought about giving to the show, and maybe it's not tonight or it's last night, or maybe it wasn't a week ago. Maybe tonight is the night. We would certainly appreciate it. Olivia is stoked. The more pans that she can hit me with when I'm not being a good guy. Here's the deal. If you want to compare the Mexican border, first of all, it's not even remotely close to the size. It's 1/4 the size of what we have to face in Northern America. Number two, as far as the amount of people that Canada has guarding that border is, you might as well be nothing. And the amount of border patrol that we have on that border might as well be nothing. Minus entryways, minus interstates, minus crossing points. It is absolutely 100% open. There's no thermal detection. There's no drones. There's no seismic activity. There's no borders and fences, minus mountains and trees and rivers and all that and streams. So when you say we've only seized 43 pounds, you're absolutely right. We have only seized 43 pounds, which is enough to kill 33% of America. The real question is how many pounds did we not seize, because there's absolutely zero protection in Canada. Just because a number tells you something that you want to hear, you have to use your fucking brain. So when we sit here and say it's only 43 pounds, well, let's just say you only caught 1%. Now how many pounds did we miss? What if we only counted 0.01%? That's not even including illegals. That's not even including possibly terrorists who came through or people who are escaping Canadian law. If you're going to sit here and tell me that Canada is going to sit on that DEA number when the DEA says on the top of the report that this is only an infinitesimal amount of what is predicted to come across, you're talking tens of thousands of pounds have the opportunity to come across. And when the border of the South is that much of a large chance of getting caught now due to the amount of people we have, having the Marines down there, having a full border patrol down there, the technology we have, do you really believe that Canada is not a prime area for China to use their shipping ports to bring in fentanyl? I do, and so does everyone else. So secure your fucking border so we can stop doing this shit. Does anybody else want to go ahead and take that on?
Yeah, totally agree with you. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Southern border gets a lot of media coverage, and that's because of the cartels and the known drugs that come across the border. We've always thought Canada has been like America's friendly neighbor to the north.
Yeah.
But I don't think people actually know the extent of what comes across their border and how much. And it's just because of media coverage. If you actually knew the statistics, you'd be alarmed, just like the southern border.
Right.
It's not as bad. It is not statistically as bad. However, you would be alarmed if the media actually reported the correct numbers for both borders all the time.
I know more illegal Canadians than I do illegals from other countries.
Yeah.
I know a shit ton of illegal Canadians. Why?
They
Because
come
I'm a
over for
hockey guy.
vacation and they stay. And they don't get, and we don't boot them out because they're Canadian and they're our neighbor, and we just let them go. So yeah.
Here's the cool thing. Thomas says, punish China for fuck's sakes, Matt. Sorry for yelling. We can punish everybody. Canada, listen, the only reason you guys have free healthcare is because of us. Because if you had to float your military and actually protect yourself against Russia instead of us doing it, you know this. I'm not saying Canada doesn't have a military. I'm not saying Canada is evil. I'm not saying I'm saying that you need to get that populist, globalist bullshit out of your country and vote it the fuck out so we can get a North American trade deal that is better than USMCA. In order to get USMCA, we had to give too many consolidations to Canada. We need to renegotiate this. We need to narrow the gap so it's North America, South America, and this entire hemisphere against the rest of the world. Because I don't know if you notice this, but Europe is fucking coming against the United States. And if they're coming against the U.S., that means they're coming against Mexico and Canada too. I don't know if you've seen this, but the globalist fucking agenda is working in Europe. They've lost their identity. Immigrants, look at England, look at France, look at Belgium. All of them are literally being consumed by illegal immigration, and they are about 10 years ahead of us. This isn't going well. England is on par. I wrote a very good article that by 2035, England could be a majority. 6 out of 10 could be Muslim. And that's the way it's looking right now. You've got Japan, who is 51% of their population is going to be gone within the next 15 years. There is a lot of change happening with a lot of unstable governments. And the United States needs to look out for the U.S. right now and get away from spending trillions of dollars on the rest of the world and start putting money into Canada, money into Mexico. And we need to have a strong Western hemisphere because Western civilization lives and dies with us. This is it. So although my Canadian brothers and sisters are going to feel a little pain, Trudeau doesn't even know when the fucking election is. They can't even nail him to say it. This is going to get to a point of cataclysm if we do not come together with Canada and Mexico, kill the fucking cartels, get the globalists out of power, get a conservative government inside Canada, and let's go against this Davos New World Order bullshit. Sorry, I'm so fired up. I'm sorry I cuss so much, folks. I can say it without cussing, but it's so much better when I do.
I grew up in Northwest Montana. I grew up about 2 hours south of the Canadian border. And I would go camping every summer in a place called Lake Koocanusa. And it's the Kootenai River. Half of it's in Canada and half of it's in the USA. That's how it gets the name. We'd go into Canada all the time. I've never had a passport in my life. You didn't need a passport to get into Canada. I don't know how many kids from school over the weekend. Let's go up to Calgary. Let's go skiing. Let's just go. Get in the car, drive up for the weekend, and come back down. My sister went constantly. Never had a passport. Never stopped. There's no border checks. There's nothing. You can just go in. So if you can just go into Canada with no passport, what do you think's coming in to the U.S. from Canada?
Right.
Because there's no stop at the border. And we're talking Montana has got the biggest border with Canada out of all the northern states.
Yeah, it's as wide as the United States is. Yeah.
Huh? I'm pretty sure it's changed. I mean, that was 27, 30 years ago. But yeah.
Liv, give me 2 updates real quick.
2 updates.
Just give me all the updates for donations fast.
Bobby, happy birthday, Olivia, $51.99.
Thank you, Bobby.
And Stephen Cornett, the goal, $100.
I think I know what we hit. Go ahead and call it out. Give me the number.
I'm doing it.
For 1,000. That's awesome.
I think we are. Yeah. God, you're gonna have a great kitchen. We're gonna get you the knife set too. We'll just do it right. Get you what you deserve.
Give it a special pot pie pan.
$1,009.22.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You guys are awesome. You guys rock.
You guys are amazing. I bet my birthday isn't even remotely close to this, and that's okay. I'm not jealous at all. Last video, 33 seconds to make fun of Harry Sisson and the bitches who went to this. This is why you got to love it. We have boys who had brain cancer, who are African American, who want to be cops. We've had people who have been taken because of fentanyl, who were taken because of illegal immigrants, real Americans. And we have these 2 homosexual beta soy boy bitches representing the Democrats. I swear to God, this is why we used to stuff guys like this in high school in lockers. Here they are.
Like State of the Union speeches tonight. It's not a real State of the Union, but we're opposing him, Elon Musk, and all their insanity.
Hanging out.
Good.
It's a good time fighting for the country, which is good. I have some Jordan 4s on right now. Looking, I can't lie, looking fresh as fuck. Harry.
I got some normal dress shoes on, man. This guy's like.
No, you look fresh, man. You look fresh.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. But we're not really doing anything right now. We're just kind of posted up. And honestly, I've been looking at these halls, and it makes me really sad because I realize like January 6th insurrectionists were like raiding this stuff. So
they're horrible people.
I concur.
Who shakes with their left hand?
That is the worst gay film I've ever seen in my
Who
life.
shakes with their left hand? You don't shake with your left hand.
I can't stand these people. Like Harry Sisson,
Amazed they didn't do the chest bump, jump up.
If it wasn't for the Matthew Shepard laws, I swear to God, I would love to fucking introduce them to a hate crime. I'm just going to be honest with you. Amy, I'm just joking, folks. I'm not threatening anybody. I would never do such a thing. I can't wait till they have families, and adopt they can have their child and their the two gay dads. Amy, you had two questions that you wanted to go ahead and touch on. What was it?
There was one question that I gotta find it now. It was about.
Tell me, did it have a Q in front of it?
I don't know. It's about loans.
Amy saw a clip of Kennedy saying that the FHA was giving loans to people who couldn't afford it, and then the government paid the mortgage when they couldn't pay.
Yes. So, just to touch on that really quick. So, pretty much all loans are federally backed loans. FHA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. They're all guaranteed by the federal government, which is why you get your loan. Otherwise, you wouldn't qualify for a loan if it wasn't government backed. So, yes, pretty much 92%, give or take a little bit there, of loans are guaranteed by the government and promised to be paid by the federal government if you fault on your loan. So, hope that helps.
Stephen, thank you. And also, Bobby, thank you guys for making the goal. Everybody's
very,
help
very
tonight.
Appreciate it.
One question was, and Amy, thank you for answering that. We talked about FDIC last night and bank insurance for dollars. So I always love how we get some real world stuff in here. So I love that perspective. Tom said, do we think that they have enough to riot? Speaking as far as money.
Yeah.
You don't need to riot when you go ahead and sell as every shooting that happens with a black, but they just need to wait for a black shooting to happen, justified or not, and they'll have the riots that they want. We saw this, and this is why we saw cataclysmic events of 23 cities all burning because of the media and the lies. And Jackson will come out and Al Sharpton will come out and they'll go ahead and scream the days of no justice, no peace, and all this other bullshit. And then you'll see it melt down. Because here's the truth. Democrats at any given Sunday can go ahead and start squeezing the black population and minorities because they are under complete control. They control the cities. They control the government. They control the police force. They control the rent. They control food prices and gas prices and everything else. And as soon as they want to, they will put the squeeze on their African-American and Latino constituents and tell them that it's white people in Washington's fault. And this is what they'll do. They've always done this. This is what they did in the Watts riots. This is what they did in the Summer of Love. This is what they did during the civil rights protests and riots that took place. It's what they do. They burn it down. And they tell them to burn it down. And they tell them that it's the white man and the 40 acres and the mule. And they lied to them perpetually, not telling them that it was the Democrats who did this. The Democrats did Jim Crow. They did gerrymandering. They did red line districting. They did the Japanese internment camps. They did the modern day slave plantations. They owned the slaves. They had the 13 states that were Democrat run that didn't vote for civil rights. They did the Tuskegee experiments. They did Manifest Destiny. We can, the Great Society. We can go on and on and on and on and on. It's all Democrats. It's always Democrats. It's always been Democrats. So, we can sit here and pretend they don't need the money. That's for the Soros riots and shit like that. This is about race riots. And all you need to do is have one black person die and lie about it as they always do with Hands Up, Don't Shoot or Trayvon Martin or Skittles or whatever. And you'll have all the riots you want. Amy, take us home. We got your minute. And then Olivia, and then I'm outie. That was mine.
Happy birthday again to Liv.
Thank you.
You look amazing. You look like you're 25. I agree with all the listeners. And Thank you so much to everyone who donated to the show tonight. It's amazing. I know you guys donated to Olivia, and even though it's not at all with me, it means so much to me on a personal level because you guys are amazing. We love you. We appreciate your support, and I just love you guys so much. That's it.
We are trying to see. We're working really, really hard to get Facebook to kind of forgive some of the things that they did so we can get back to a spot. Amy and Leroy and I are going to sit down and have a meeting when we get together and kind of talk about what the future looks like and what financials look like and what we plan on doing. I don't know if you knew this, Amy, but one of our listeners is putting on an event when we get back, which they are going to do a special show, special content, and in that show, whatever donations that the Don't Unfriend Me Nation gives, he's going to match it up to $10,000. So,
okay, yeah, I was waiting until next Friday to talk to you guys, but I've been discussing some like business things with Jason lately, so we've been like in cahoots because I want to step back from real estate a little bit, not like forego all my stuff, but I'm just ready to like have a gap year and like focus more on the show.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And I think we all are going to go there, and we want to talk about looking at expanding into a location, which will help us to get people to come in and do interviews and local law enforcement and stuff. House is different. So we want to have that conversation, and we think it's high time that we figure out how to do that. So lots of exciting stuff coming in the future, and you guys are awesome, and we appreciate you. Liv, get your minute, and happy birthday to you, of course.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to everyone who donated and just everyone in general who wished me a happy birthday. I really appreciate it. You guys make me feel very special, very loved. And I wouldn't want to spend my birthday anywhere else. It was awesome. And thank you for the beautiful poem. Made me cry.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah.
And I did have one question. When did the party start? I don't know when that happened.
Well, that gets a little tough.
Is that for another day?
No, it's quickly because you have to define. I mean, the Democrats and Republicans, the modern day as we have now, you have how about this? How about we do it tomorrow? You have the anti-federalists, you have the federalist parties, then you have the morph of the conservatives and classic liberalism where Democrats and Republicans both came from. So to do that would take longer than a 30-second spiel, but we can most assuredly do it on our next night together.
Yeah, let's do it on Friday.
Let's do it on Friday,
yeah,
and I will break down.
Hayden's got a concert. So
yeah, the history of. Oh yeah, so am I going to that?
To be honest, I don't think you're going to want to because it's their it's basically their practice concert for their district.
I hear practice. I'm like,
yeah, no.
So Friday we will go over kind of the etymology of the Republican and Democrat, but then we got to talk about the Bull Moose Party, and there's plenty of other parties that are within there. The Whig Party. So there's more than just Republicans and Democrats. In fact, there's a ton. And that would make a great topic. That'd be fun. So thanks everybody for watching.
I'd be interested in that. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be fun. It would make it fun. Well, I get it. I don't know if I want to start doing. If you come on, we got to talk about videos and also an AM show because I think there's a lot of opportunity that we just need to get on the air more because that's.
I think we're on the same wavelength. I literally had this discussion with Jason today. I was like, I need to start doing recorded videos again. I have so many ideas for topics.
I'm so excited. This excites me like you can't believe it.
Like,
and by the way,
I'm not quitting my job. Anyone who's wondering, like, no, I'm still working. I'm still very busy, but I want to, if I can, pass on some business. Not that he needs it, but I need. I've had a rough 5 years, and I need some. I need some time to just live off the money I can earn, and then also enjoy what I do, which is this.
I'm down. This would be amazing, and I've got plenty. That's what we're going to do in this meeting. We're going to sit down. We're going to have a few whiskeys. Matt needs to take Oliver out to a nice dinner. No, I'll take Olivia. She hasn't transitioned yet. I always take Olivia out tonight. I always take Olivia out to nice dinners, and we always come home and have dessert. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for everything. Thanks for going to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Thanks for watching us. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock, me and Leroy will be back. It'll be great to see you. Everyone, God bless, and have a wonderful night.
Thank you again, everyone. Really, really appreciate it.
Happy birthday, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night. Thanks. Thanks,
Love
Amy.
y'all.
We'll talk.
Bye.
Bye.
Night, Amy.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.